All right, let's rock and roll. So, welcome to the show. Welcome everybody back to another episode of the Moose Bros podcast. We've got Mr. Evan Teich. Correct me on the pronunciation.
Teich.
Teich.
No, it's
Cool.
impossible.
I was trying to figure it out, like before we like over the last couple of days as we've been like talking about like you being on a podcast, and I wasn't quite sure. So Teich, Evan Teich, cool.
Evan Teich, that's it.
Yeah. Beard Struggle, Brand Viking, general content creator. Yeah, thanks for being on today. How's your day been?
It's good so far. I'm technically working from home, so I've been in
Nice.
a few meetings already today, but
Cool.
yeah, it's good.
Sweet, good stuff. That's really cool. If you don't mind sharing, what is it you do for work?
I work for Apple.
Oh, nice.
Yes,
That's awesome.
I work for the fruit stand.
That's sweet. What's your position within the company?
Right now I'm on sales.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Oh, that's cool. How long have you been doing that for?
just over a year.
Nice.
Just over a year, yeah.
That's sweet. How'd you like did they reach out to you what was the process like when you first like when you first wanted to like work there? How did that go?
Well, my background is in theater and
Okay, cool.
performing. So I was working on a contract, and I had been wanting to work for Apple for a while because I like the product. I use Apple. I like it. So when I was finishing up that contract, I knew I was going to need something to come back to when I got home. So I reached out to a friend who was working for the company, and also I had met someone on the contract who worked for the company, and I said, what's the best way to kind of get involved, and how do you kind of get your foot in the door? So through referrals and just applying, they kind of put you through your paces when you're applying for the company. But
I've heard that.
yeah, it's but I just enjoy the product, and so it's a fun place to work, and they take care of their employees.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. What's your favorite Apple product?
Well, probably the watch. I think the watch is a lot of
Nice.
fun.
Yeah.
It's not just like a gimmicky peripheral. It's like actually a functional peripheral that you can get a lot of use out of if you use it correctly. And
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I had the first generation Apple Watch, like when it first came out, and then like the last few years I've been using Android phones, but like once I'm working again and can afford it, I want to get add a second line to my plan and get an iPhone, and then also have an Apple Watch, because like I've been using the Samsung Gear Sport for the last few years, and it's good, but the Apple Watch is so much better.
yeah, that's kind of what I heard from people who've used other ones, and just the functionality of the watch and how it works in tandem with the phone or without the phone now with the cellular option.
Yeah.
It kind of just adds to that experience, especially if you're like trying to track your fitness goals, or you just you want that extension of your phone without having to pull out your phone, because a lot of doctors and folk who can't have their phone on them all the time,
Totally,
they'll often go for the watch with the cellular option, so that they can still access all their stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, it's definitely a cool idea that they added the cellular option for people, because then and also like with the fact that they added the GPS like built into the watch itself and not having to like use it like from the phone.
Yeah.
Like having the built-in GPS and the cellular in tandem, like that's a really good idea for sure.
Yeah.
And like for like runs, and like because odds are like most people don't want to necessarily run with their phone if they don't have to.
Yeah, it adds like that extra weight, or they don't want it to get stolen or lost or anything like that. So it's great. It's a great option if you are a gym rat, or you like to go on runs and you want to just live independently of your phone. You can still get all that access on your watch.
Yeah, and like with music too, and hook up the AirPods and all that. Like that's that really is the thing that nobody does better than Apple. It's just like the cohesion and like the all the connectedness of like all the products.
Yeah, everything in the ecosystem. And now I sound like welcome to the Apple podcast. This is what I talk about every day. But no, I don't mind it either. It's 100%. Everything in the ecosystem talks to each other. So
totally.
everything kind of connects seamlessly, and that's kind of everything by design,
Yeah,
so that
totally.
everything that you own kind of just flows neatly, and you can start a document on one device and then pick it up on the next device. So
Yeah.
everything is designed to really flow cohesively and nicely in the ecosystem.
Yeah, totally. Which is really nice, like just for like ease of use for sure. Like nobody does that better than Apple. Like just like you sign into one iCloud account and you yeah, like you were saying, pull up a document on like your iPad and then do some edits on it like after creating it like on your MacBook Pro or whatever. Like it's just all easily accessible on everything that you have.
Yeah. Yeah. And, they, even during this whole COVID quarantine thing, as an actor, a lot of people lost work. A lot of
Yeah.
people are still out of work, and there's no kind of even ETA of when the entertainment industry is going to pick back up again.
Yeah.
So I felt very fortunate that I fell in line with a company that still kept us employed.
Yeah.
Didn't miss a beat there. Kept a paycheck coming in, and I'm planning a wedding right now. I'm
Nice.
gearing up to get married, so it's thinking about the future, thinking about that, my family. It's reassuring to work for a company right now that takes care of their own, and
yeah, totally.
I feel very fortunate to have landed there.
Yeah, for sure. I've always been like a big fan of Apple and like their products, and like there's a like in the city that I used to live in, there's an Apple store like walking distance from my house, and like I'd go there a lot and do all the different like the education workshops. Like I did pretty much every single one that they offered like up until I moved to the city that I'm in now. Like to the point that like I became like quickly recognized by like a lot of the staff, which was kind of fun.
Yeah, the Today at Apple sessions are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I actually was on track to just move into that area of the store, the creative
Ooh,
realm.
Yeah.
But when everything went down with the quarantine and everything,
Yeah.
That role in store right now pretty much doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So they do some stuff at home, like some online sessions and things now. You can actually look up, but
that
in
makes
terms
sense.
of the in-store experience, that is on the back burner for right now.
Yeah, fair. Yeah, because I know like Apple like just like recently started like reopening like stores around the world. So yeah, it makes sense that they're not like going right into like having like six people around a not a huge table.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They're not rushing into that for sure. Yeah, that's really cool. What was the first Apple product that you ever bought?
First Apple product would probably have been, I think, my iPod.
Ooh, nice.
I'm old enough to remember the older iPods, the ones that had the dial, the scroll dial, but it also had
the screen,
the video screen.
Yeah,
Like it was one of the first ones that had the video screen. It was like the I'm a big U2 fan, the band U2.
Nice.
And it was the one that came out that had like their coloring and like their names etched in the background of the actual unit. So I think that's probably one of the earliest products I got. And then like in 2008, I saved up working over the summer and I bought myself my first MacBook.
Nice.
It was like one of the old white ones.
Yep.
Back like those antiques.
Yeah, solid.
But since then I've evolved. But I've been using for a while now.
Nice. That's really cool. What's your so I'm assuming you're using an iPhone. Which one do you have?
I still have the 10. I still am rocking the 10, the X as people like to call it. They don't when you say like when they come into the store, they're like, you have the X? So I was like, the 10? No, the X. Same thing. So you have to like explain to them what the differences are. But no, I've been it's the first one that had the Face ID and that lost the home button. And it actually, just a little story about the 10, it didn't do very well in the market because I don't think people were ready for that change yet. They weren't ready to jump ship home button.
Yeah.
So it actually was discontinued fairly quickly after it came
Yeah.
out.
Yeah. I remember hearing
Because
that.
it came out at the same time as the 8 and the 8 Plus.
Yeah.
And because that was the new phone next in line, people were
Yeah.
like ready to get that kind of thing, and they weren't ready for that Face ID technology
Mm-hmm.
yet. So I grabbed one because I wanted to be kind of like on the front line of that new
For sure.
tech.
Yeah.
And
100%.
I still have it. It's like, I guess, over 3 years now, 3 years old, and it still works
Mm-hmm.
great. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
the battery's a little worse for wear, but I mean,
Yeah.
the rest of the phone still works great. I do most of my filming for things that I film, or my photos are
Mm-hmm.
all done with the
Yep.
camera on there, and it's only getting better, but I mean, that
Yeah. Totally.
is still reliable.
Yeah. No, it's a great phone for sure. Yeah. But yeah, it definitely makes sense that the 10 didn't like sell like traditionally as well, just because it was such a radical redesign from, because like
Mm-hmm.
they did the 6 and the 6 Plus, then the 6S and 6S Plus, and then the 7 Plus, like, and then the 8 and the 8 Plus, which they were all very similar design and like style. So it was very very familiar to a lot of people, and like
Yeah.
most people would rather just stay familiar. But I'd be the same way. I'd definitely go with the 10 for sure.
Yeah, I was definitely an early adopter there, and
Yeah.
yeah, it was like the first big radical redesign of the
Mm-hmm.
way the phone looked too. I mean, they changed the bezels on the edge.
Yeah.
They really changed how the phone operated, because they changed that whole screen too. And you had like,
Yeah.
the notch and everything, the notch gate, all that drama around the notch. But like, they changed the whole, you get the whole edge to edge screen display now. So
Yeah.
you get a lot more real estate to play with. But
Yeah. Totally.
yeah, they actually went, when they released the SE a few months ago,
Yeah.
because people were like clamoring for that small phone again. They were like,
Yeah. Totally.
why won't they bring this phone back? And so they just re-released the SE
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
went back to that home button and that square screen,
Yeah.
without like the full edge to edge screen. But like, people love that phone.
Totally. Yeah. Two of my siblings and my mom all have the iPhone SE, and then my other sister has the iPhone 11.
Mm-hmm.
And then my dad's still rocking the original SE, but he's probably gonna get the SE too, like at some point in the next little while, because his SE is on the way out.
Yeah, it's definitely a popular model. People like that model.
Yeah. Yeah, I've kind of always been like, ever since I got the iPhone 6, I've been like a big screen phone kind of guy. So I would probably definitely go. Probably if I'm gonna get the like one of the new 11 line, I'll probably get the Pro Max, because like I've been used to like having an OLED screen like
Mm-hmm.
with my last few phones. So like I'd definitely go for one of the OLED ones, and yeah, I like the big screen, big battery. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'd
Yeah,
probably
the
go
OLED.
Pro Max.
The OLED is a nice screen. It
Oh,
really,
100%.
you can definitely tell next when they're side by side. You can tell the
Yeah.
difference in the screen.
Yeah, like, yeah, totally. Like, unless you've compared, like most like normal people, like none of my siblings really care about that, but like I would notice the difference, because I've seen the OLED screen, and then go like
Mm-hmm.
I'd be able to tell the difference. So I think that would bother me. But most people aren't like tech nerds like us.
Yeah.
So the LCD still works for them. But
Yeah. Unless you're you're experienced in that
yeah.
kind of thing. You really, it's like the people that can like the people that can see frame rate. They like know if it's 30 or like 60. And it's like, I don't have that depth of vision, but you can tell like the screen,
Yeah.
just the way that the colors pop and how deep the black is on the
Yeah.
screen. It's just, there is a difference there.
Yeah, totally. What's your like most used like Apple app on any of your devices?
Well, right now it's probably Instagram, because
Yeah.
trying to cultivate and nurture that brand is a whole
Yeah.
job into itself. But let's see, what am I looking at right now?
Yeah, like out of the first party ones.
I love podcasts, so
Nice.
I love the podcast app. I love listening to podcasts. I love watching podcasts.
Yep.
But between that, probably Instagram right now.
Cool.
Yeah, I would say those are like my top apps right now.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah. Instagram. I'm definitely on there a lot.
Yeah, and the Apple Arcade games are actually, not to bring it back to Apple again, but
Yeah, no, it's all
the
good.
Apple Arcade games, what they've done with Arcade now,
Yeah.
and the games that they're releasing for that platform are actually really high quality
Oh,
games that
cool.
are that's it's not like a mainstream like platformer
Yeah.
game system, but like you can play games on there that are entertaining and good quality, and you can hook
Yeah.
up your controller to them now to
Yep.
the
Yeah.
devices. So
Yeah,
it's
totally.
yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah, yeah, I've heard good things about Apple Arcade. And then like it was funny, like shortly after Apple announced that, like Google announced like Android, like Google Play Arcade or something very similar, and it was like, I see what you're doing, Google,
Hmm.
riding the
Yeah.
coattails, as they've tended to do in the past.
Yeah, but when the I've heard that when the new Xbox stuff comes out and like the whole xCloud thing, when that
Yeah.
all drops, like Apple is saying no. Apple is not going to let it on the platform, which could be a big,
Huh.
for gamers anyway, it could be a big deciding factor.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because if they're gonna, they'll probably have like a smartphone like companion app for the iPhones and like that kind of stuff to like check like your xCloud like data and all that kind of stuff. So if that's not available on the iPhone, that might be an issue for some people.
Mm,
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm kind of like continuing on with like the Xbox type thing. Like I'm really excited to see like test out the new Xbox that's coming out and the new PS5. Like those both
Mm,
look awesome.
yeah. Yeah. I've been a gamer for a long time now, and
Yeah.
primarily Xbox. I have a PlayStation 4,
Okay.
but I don't play it nearly as much as the Xbox. Like I'll use it to play
Mm,
like the big flagship games,
yeah,
but
for sure.
like Xbox is where I've been for years now, and I haven't been playing as much lately
Hmm. Yeah,
due
fair.
to work starting up again, and then
Yeah.
trying to get the whole Instagram thing under my belt. But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely got to get back to it, especially with all the new stuff coming out and the new
Hmm.
systems coming out. I'm looking forward to Halo.
Yeah,
So
true. Yeah, that's cool. What's your favorite Xbox game that you've played?
I think my favorite, and I've been thinking about off and on, like it's really the trilogy. It's the Mass Effect trilogy.
Okay, cool.
Um, that's like what really got me back into gaming after college was the
Hmm.
Xbox, was the Mass Effect trilogy.
Okay.
That those three games are like just, if you're into that sci-fi kind of nerdy Star Warsy type
Oh, cool.
space opera thriller kind of RPG action adventure stuff, like that game
Yeah.
is pretty fantastic. So I mean, I keep going back to that game as like
Yeah.
my favorite go-to.
Nice. That's really cool. Yeah. What about on your PS4? What's one of your more regularly played games?
Uh, Nothing regular really. I mean,
Okay.
the last big game probably I played on that was probably oh gosh, they just came out with the sequel. The post-apocalyptic
Oh,
zombie
Last of Us?
Last of Us, yeah.
Right. Yep.
I played that when it first came out, the
Hmm.
first one, and I've yet to
Cool.
get the sequel yet, but I really want to get the sequel because
Yeah.
that game, that the first one anyway, is like it's a piece of art. It's not even just a
Yeah.
video game. It's such a piece of storytelling art that
Yeah.
it transcends like video games. It's like its own cinematic deep dive experience. It's really great.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't played it, but I've heard that like especially the second one as of late is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't had much time to play video games in the last few months just because I've been like doing so much with like Instagram and like this podcast. Like like there
Yeah.
was a good 3 week burst where Scott and I did, I want to say like probably 20 something episodes in the span of like 3 weeks. So that kind of like,
That's busy.
yeah, took up a substantial amount of time for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Mhm. Yeah. And then kind of switching gears. talk about the beard struggle a little bit. Because for everybody watching, Evan's also a beard struggle brand Viking, and a general. So, what made you want to join that, and like when did you do that?
I had been wanting to do some kind of, especially with COVID kind of putting the kibosh on my acting career as of right now. I have been wanting to do something creative, online for a while, and I thought, YouTube is kind of like the go-to create your own content forum. Like what could I do that I know enough about that I could actually do something worthwhile there? And I'd been watching beard guys on there for a long time, and then since I've been growing a beard, and I would always go back to YouTube and pick up little details here and there about things that I wanted to do.
Cool.
And in doing that, I like thought, I could do this too. And finally, one day during quarantine, I was still at home working. I wasn't in store, back in store yet. I was like, if any time is the right time, it's now to start your own kind of like thing on YouTube or any kind of social media, because
totally.
I had all that free time, and if I wasn't doing work from home for the store, I wasn't doing anything. So
totally.
I jumped in, both feet, and I was like, let me just try this out. Let me do this. And so I started doing that. I started making videos, starting exploring like my own voice in the beard community online. And then I thought like, I should probably make my own like Instagram for like this part of me, like this brand.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, so I created like a secondary Instagram account.
Yep.
Which has now become like my primary, because I don't go on the other one anymore.
Yep.
So I created the Instagram account, and like, like when you start searching certain things, like the algorithm just like starts chucking things at you, like, oh, you like this, you like this, you like this. And then one day I was scrolling and I saw submit to be a brand Viking, and
yep.
And I was like, oh, what's this? And I had been like wanting to like start getting affiliate stuff so that I could get like links so that I could start promoting, starting to try to make money off of the deal.
For sure.
So I was like, oh, okay, I'll apply for this brand Viking thing. Sounds cool. What the kids are hip and doing. So I applied. The application back then anyway, like the application process was fairly straightforward. You fill out a few questions. Like, do you have an account? What do you do? How many followers? And shortly after I applied, I heard back that I got accepted into the program, and then they give you I got the link to Facebook, and then between that and like getting accepted to a few other affiliate programs, like the whole like veil of like creating content and creating and marketing yourself as a brand through social media like kind of lifted. And I was like, oh, this is a whole like world in here that you get exposed to, and like a whole community of people that you get introduced to. And it's been I've not been doing it too long. I mean, I guess since March or April.
Okay, nice.
But it's been a pretty crazy wild ride since then, and just like a whole different community of people to interact with and collaborate with. It's been awesome so far.
Yeah, totally. Like I also joined back in like early April, and I was kind of like very similar to you. Like, oh, like I just saw an ad for it, and I was like, oh, this seems cool. So I was kind of joined it, just like not thinking like a lot of it, just kind of like seeing interesting. But it's morphed into like a huge, like this podcast happened because like after joining the Beard Struggle and meeting Scott, I had never really had plans to like ever do a podcast, but it just kind of happened like in the past couple months.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it just like, it makes you make connections with other people, with other like-minded folk, and you find ideas and inspiration for other things, and like just you find your creative thoughts and stuff to be able to create this content that's going to be engaging and compelling for people to actually look at. So yeah, it's been I don't know, I hope you don't hear like all the construction going on right now. I live in Queens, so it's construction. But yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun, and it's the Beard Struggle is definitely a unique awesome community of guys and
Mm-hmm.
gals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's like, yeah, definitely cool for sure. And like that, like, and it's one thing that's really helpful, like with joining the beard struggle for me, like I have so much more like motivation to like improve my content, and because like there's so many guys that are like just like doing super well, and like you want to like get better and like try
Mm-hmm.
more things, and
Yeah, when you see like content that like Espen or
yeah,
Thor are putting out, like
yeah,
just these amazing shoots that they're doing, or the videos, just like the videos in general for the struggle is
yeah,
always so entertaining.
mm-hmm,
Um, and but just like all the photography that Espen does, like
yeah,
there, is just really awesome. And using those masters to like kind of set a target for yourself and be like, okay,
mm-hmm,
I want to create content on that level. Like, how can I match those guys? How can I amp up my own content to match what the top players are doing?
yeah,
And in doing that, you improve your stuff because you're trying to elevate, you're trying to create better and better content. So
mm-hmm,
you're trimming away the fat. You're really taking a paring knife hardcore
yeah, totally,
to your page there, because like in the beginning it was just kind of like, oh, let me take a picture of this, let me do a selfie, let me do this kind of crap, and then you find out like, oh well, there's a real method to the madness that
mm-hmm,
creates like a successful page, because you want
yep,
it to be unique, you want it to be streamlined, but you want it to be all cohesive and look the same. So um it's been a learning experience,
mm-hmm.
definitely figuring out what the what the code is to get into
Yeah.
this elusive club.
Yeah, totally. And then you're also a general. How's that been so far?
It's been great. It's been a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
I represent the great state of New York. New
Mm-hmm.
York in the house.
Mm-hmm.
No, my group of guys and gals are really great. New York is definitely a rowdy bunch. I'm sure everyone's got their own flavor, but New York
For
is
sure.
a lot of fun too. And
Yeah,
we've got some really active folk in the group. We're lucked out to have a nice active core.
that's cool.
Yeah, and we've got some really great stuff planned coming
Mm-hmm.
down the pipe. And
Nice.
yeah, no, being a general, when they were announcing that was going to be a thing back when the ETS first started, when it was
Mm-hmm.
just like, here's a group of guys all chatting, like, and then they kind of announced the layout of what it was going to become.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I'm one of the more active guys in here. I feel like I'm participating a lot. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
And then I kind of just got, I think like the people that got like reacted to the most kind of just were like the nominees.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in there with one of our warriors at the
Mm-hmm.
time,
Cool.
and I made the cut, so to speak.
Yeah.
And yeah, no, I've just been trying my darndest to just do well by the group and to
Mm-hmm.
help promote everyone in there with positive vibes, positive
Mm-hmm.
content, and just yeah, try to lead by example. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to them getting the Canada et set up. Because like I've kind of been like over the past couple months I've been like kind of like networking and gathering like
Mm-hmm.
other Canadian brand Vikings into initially an Instagram group chat. But then when that got too big, I talked to a DC and then did a set up a Discord, which is way easier than I thought that it was going to be. um, just like get more people in there. But yeah, like Scott and I have kind of been like tag teaming on like kind of organizing that. And it's been definitely been kind of difficult to get them to be like super engaged. It's like kind of figuring that out has been definitely interesting. But I'm looking forward to like getting the official et set up and getting more
Yeah,
people moved in there. That'll
for
be
sure, for sure.
that'll be good.
I imagine there's quite a few of you guys up there north of our border.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're pretty spread out. Like I think there's a decent number in Ontario and like a good number in BC. But and then there's kind of like smaller pockets like spread throughout.
Mm-hmm.
So like Scott and I have talked about this on the podcast before. Like I think I feel like having like less generals would work out better for Canada because it's a lot smaller and there's a lot more like a lot less people than like the USA. Like
Yeah.
And I feel like having too many generals would like make it more complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would love to, like, depending on when that gets going. Like I've said, I said to Jan, like I'd be definitely down to be a warlord because like I've kind of like unofficially been doing that like with like our small core of Canadian guys like over the last little while. Like we did a little Instagram video a little while ago that I gathered all the photos and then like edited that together. So I'd love to
Yeah.
do that more like with more get like some more guys in there and get more collabs happening and more like interaction.
Yeah. How is because I know we've got states, but how is Canada separated again? Is it like provinces?
Yeah, it's provinces. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like
So there's
there's way less than
there's
50.
yeah yeah there's I think there's 13 provinces
Okay.
and like a couple of territories I believe if I'm correct. Yeah, so 13 provinces. But based on what I've seen, it seems like the core is in BC and Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like
Yeah,
Scott's.
I'm sure there's ways to like subdivide those.
Yeah, yeah. It'll just depend on like how many guys are like located where and all that. So
Yeah.
that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, because we haven't gotten all 50 states.
Yeah.
By a long shot. Even the East Coast is only, I think there's 5 of us that are actually what is it called? We have generals.
Yeah.
So that we're actually like recognized states right now,
Mhm.
but scattered throughout the country at large, there's a nice handful, but certainly not all 50 at this point. But it's like mostly located at like in the big hub areas like Texas, New York, and so we're fairly well represented so far.
Yeah.
But we'd like to get more involved.
Yeah,
there's
more to do for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think based on from what I've been told, I think they're setting up the EU next, so like France and Italy and like all those kind of places, and then Canada's after that. So
yeah,
hopefully sooner than later.
We'll be a worldwide organization before long.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, like even like I've had a couple conversations with Faisal, the CEO, and like he said, like yeah, there's customers from pretty well like everywhere, which is really cool. And like between like that and the brand Vikings, which is really cool.
Where there's a beard, there's opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. What's your favorite beard struggle product and scent?
So that's tricky because I've only worked with 3 so far.
Okay.
My first was Odin's Virtue, which really enjoyed. I was like, a nice sweet. It's a sweet, but it's like a woodsy, earthy smell too.
Yep.
It's a really nice aroma. The Odin's Virtue.
Yeah.
Then I went and bought both the night and day oil of Viking Storm.
Oof. Yep.
And the balm. And then I found out that my fiance does not care too much for the scent. So now I wear that one if I'm like going to work or I'm not going to be around her for all day. But now I'm using Freya's Bliss.
Okay.
That one might be my new favorite. Freya's Bliss is just real subtle, but it's just got a nice aroma that like I really, it's just pleasant to like smell that all day. It doesn't get tiring on your nose at all. It just like it's a nice. It's almost floral to me. Yeah. The way it smells and just lingers in your beard, and I really enjoy that one. Favorite product? I mean, I've been using the towel
Fair.
every single day.
Yeah, that counts.
I mean, yeah, it's not an oil, it's not a balm or anything, but like I can't say enough about microfiber towels.
Yeah, totally.
I know some people think it's like a racket or a hoax, but like a microfiber towel, hands down, is so much better than a regular towel because the fibers are so much smaller.
Yeah.
And fine. They don't pull on your beard at all. They don't pull on the hair. They don't cause any kind of shedding or anything like that.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I use that towel every day when I get out of the shower,
totally.
or if I wash my face at night, I'll use that to dry myself off. Just because I think it's a nice size. It's not too big. It's not too small. It's just the perfect size, and gets the job done. So yeah, that's probably right now. I'd say it's an under the radar favorite for me.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I think it was actually one of your videos that I was watching on Instagram. Where you mentioned some of the facts about the microfiber towel, which I didn't know, and I was definitely interesting to find out for sure.
Yeah,
the
really
particle
great.
size and all that. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, because I've been using microfiber towels for years to dry my car, and I never put the connection together that you can use this on your body too.
Yeah, true.
So my fiance actually has one of the head wrap ones for her hair that it kind of comes up in like a turban.
Yeah, cool.
And I saw that and I was like, I probably could work for a beard too. So I've gotten one off of Amazon that's just a regular generic microfiber, and I was using that for a while. And then I thought after I got the Beard Struggle one, I was like, when you dry a car with a microfiber towel, what you do first is you soak the towel, you get it wet, and then you wring it out really well. You just wring all that water out of there, because a damp microfiber towel, I should say, is actually way more absorbent than just a dry one. So
interesting.
Pro tip for all you fans out there: a wet microfiber towel. If you get that thing soaking wet and you wring it out really well, that's going to dry, wick all that water off your head and your beard. Not your head if you're bald like me, but if you have regular hair too, it dries it actually much more efficiently.
Huh. Interesting.
Little science factoid for your fans there.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I'm definitely gonna try that out, because normally I just hop out of the shower and just use it right away. But I'll definitely try the dampening technique. We'll call it the Evan method.
Pull the Evan method, the Evan dampening method.
Yeah, that's really cool. But yeah, Odin's Virtue is just I've got it in my beard right now, and it's just there's something about it. It's a great scent. And then obviously Viking Storm, but that one's definitely very much the focus of a lot of the advertisements, and there's a lot of hype behind that because it's new. But I also tried Asgardian Secret recently, and it's amazing, because it's not I would say it's not quite as strong as Odin's Virtue, but it's just got a nice smell to it. And then I've tried all the scents now at this point, between buying some oils here or a beard wash here. I just did an order of the last 3 scents that I hadn't tried, which was Loki Unscented, Asgardian Secret, and Valkyrie's Oud. And they're all pretty nice. And the thing I like about the Loki Unscented, because that one's generally not talked about a whole lot, but it's kind of like Viking Honor. It's got kind of a minty smell to it, but it's not quite as pronounced. So it's definitely a nice subtle scent for sure. But yeah, Odin's Virtue, Ragnarok Finale, Asgardian Secret, and Viking Storm would probably be my top 4 if I had to pick.
Yeah, Viking Storm, I like it. I think it's nice. It has a very nice cologne-y type smell to me. It's got it's just very masculine scent.
Yeah, totally.
And it does have those cologne-y type notes to it, but I could
Mhm.
understand, like, because my fiance has like a very sensitive nose, so
Yeah, fair.
like certain scents will give her a headache.
Okay.
So I can understand like that
Yeah, for
cologne
sure.
type scent would definitely turn some people off,
Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
it is a very warm. I think of like cigars and smoking
Yeah.
jackets kind of like
Yeah,
scent.
totally.
It's definitely like a masculine, warm smell though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely a good smell for sure. Yeah. Um, when you're doing like content for Instagram, what's your creative process typically like? When you're like going to like make a video, say, or like just like do a series of photos.
So, I mean, this is it's been evolving. It's been an evolving process, learning from, some of our fellows that are higher up in the process and,
Yeah.
and have got more of a following, and reflecting back on my own process and reflecting on, some of the other guys as well. I think now I try to stick more to a schedule.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I try to really plan out my week, and I've started taking the weekends off. Actually, I've
Oh,
started
yeah.
taking at least definitely Sunday, but sometimes Saturday too. I'll take off because I think like it gives you kind of like it gives you a break. It gives you a palate cleanser to be like
Yeah,
not being bombarded with something all day every day.
for sure.
Also, I find it personally mentally healthy to just disconnect for like at least a day,
Yeah, totally.
to just like not to go on the stuff, try not to go on and check all your accounts and swipe, just because I feel
Yeah.
like unplugging for at least 24 hours and disconnecting is just like healthy for your own psyche, your own
Yeah,
mental welfare.
for sure.
But I've definitely tried to like stick to more of a set schedule in terms of when I post and what I post on certain days. Like
Yeah.
my one of my big things is Wednesday. I do the
Yeah.
Warface Wednesday
Mm-hmm.
posts. Like, and it's always my little character that I do.
Yeah.
Rufus the cockeyed Viking, and he always makes an appearance on Wednesdays, and that just came out of like experimenting with light and experimenting with makeup.
Mm-hmm.
There he is. There's Rufus.
Yeah,
um,
super
and
epic.
actually, I started experiment because it's an old theater trick. I started experimenting with burning some cork, and
Oh, okay.
you just burn cork, and then you just put that on in whatever fashion, and it looks like war paint. But I
Ah,
just
interesting.
fell into that kind of routine, and now like every
Mm-hmm.
Wednesday, like I usually shoot on the day. Like I'll take my photos on the day, which I
Yeah.
kind of want to start. I want to try doing more of a planned out, like
Yeah, for sure.
maybe take one of those days off on the weekend to like just do a whole bunch of photos of
Mm-hmm.
things, and then like set it up where I can just schedule it to post throughout the week at a certain time.
Yeah,
Just
definitely.
because, I know Phil, our
Yeah.
East Coast warlord, he's like
Mm-hmm.
big on setting like a schedule, and then he's
Yeah.
got the planning app that allows you to like schedule your posts throughout the week, and they'll just automatically
Yeah. Yeah.
post at a certain time.
Yeah, which is so helpful. I've used it
Yeah,
a bit, but I just can't. Right, I'm not working right now, so I can't really afford to like have like be like paying a subscription every month for like
yeah,
something that
totally,
like once
totally.
I'm probably gonna be back to work in the next few weeks. So once I'm back to work and making money again, I'm definitely gonna do that because it is helpful. Like just sit down on Sunday, like write all your captions, like schedule all your posts, and just like they just go live on their own. And it's yeah, it definitely works a lot better for like saving
Yeah,
time.
it's a definite help especially if you're busy during the week, because I like work kind of all different hours throughout the week.
Mm-hmm.
So I usually like to shoot my stuff up probably around, if I want to do the morning slot, I'll try to do like, because there's like a whole science to this, like
Totally.
figuring out the best times to post, and like,
Yeah.
so I'll try to shoot for like, if I want to do the morning, I'll shoot for like the 8:30 time
Yep.
block,
Yep.
because that's like when people are eating breakfast, they're like scrolling through, they're going to
Mm-hmm.
see your stuff. Or I'll shoot for the 11:30, 11:45 block,
Yeah, like lunchtime.
which is like I'm out for lunch on my
Yep.
break, what's going on.
Yep.
And so those are like the two windows that I shoot for, but sometimes
Mm-hmm.
I'm working, so
Yep.
I'm like, I have to like plan it out, like where I'm on a break at work and I can post. So it's a definite dance of trying to figure out the
Totally.
scheduling routine. But in terms of like my process while I'm creating stuff, it's just creating posts I think that I would want to see, that I would find engaging,
for sure,
that are interesting to look at, that aren't just like I know something that Jan Vadisi is big about promoting is like shooting things from unnatural angles, like angles that aren't just like direct eye lines, something that you wouldn't think that you would see.
Yeah.
Things that like really pop, that make like an image more interesting. So there's that, and then another thing is like not I'll tweak images with like certain editing things, like lighting and shadow and stuff, but I tend not to slap like filters and stuff on my photos. Like Wednesday, yes, I'll like hit that with all kinds of crazy shit. But,
for sure.
Usual posts, I'll try to just do subtle tweaks to make the image pop a little bit more. But
Yeah.
I like to kind of just keep it more natural.
Yeah.
Terms of, no, it's just really finding out what looks compelling and what tells a story, I guess.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and like since joining the beard struggle, it's definitely been fun to like figure out kind of the science behind posting and not just like randomly posting, because like kind of like you said, like taking the weekends off is like that's smart, because like I've noticed and been told that like the weekends are generally like engagement is generally less than like during the week, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Like so definitely playing the game and like figuring out like when things are gonna pop off the most is like it's a whole job in itself.
Yeah, it really is. It really, really is.
Yeah.
And I think taking some time off for yourself is also suggesting to others. It's like go and take a day or two. Like my fiance and I love to go hiking, so like we'll go upstate and we'll go on a hike, and like sure, I'll take pictures.
Yeah.
To like capture some really good footage while we're up there, but like I'll save that for another time.
Yeah,
if I
for sure.
can. But like it's kind of like enjoying the moment while you're doing it and not worrying about like, okay, well, let me see what everyone else is up to. Like
yeah, totally.
Taking time for yourself, taking time to like just almost like to give yourself a little detox, because you can't have your eyes glued to these things all day.
Totally. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you definitely need to work on like a balance, which I'm not great at, but I'm kind of working on that more. And I'm in school for business marketing right now. So that starts back up on September 8th. So I'm gonna have more time that I'm like not like on Instagram and like doing that kind of stuff. Like I'm gonna be doing it still from home. So it's like, yeah. So it's gonna be like kind of different that way. But it'll be nice to have like more time. That's like more like kind of like my days like during the summer have kind of been more like kind of like free flowing, like not super structured, but like during like the like from like March to April, when my school switched to all online, like I had like a set schedule every day of like everything that I had to get done. So getting back into that in the fall is going to be good. Just get some more structure back in the day. But then like I'll also like, and
Sure.
I just built my schedule today for semester. And like my Mondays are totally free of classes. So like I'll probably use that day, or like the afternoons or like evenings, like other days to get content done and like podcasts and all that kind of stuff. Because I like doing that stuff, but it's just kind of like a matter of like efficiently like scheduling your day and like managing your time.
Yeah, totally. I'm big on structure.
Yeah, totally.
And having kind of like a set, even if I'm working from home, or even if I'm off, and I want to dedicate that day to focus more on this kind of stuff. It's like I like to schedule out myself some time blocks of like what I want to focus on, just because I find that giving myself that structure and that almost that rigidity in my day kind of helps propel the day forward. Where if I find like if I'm just kind of like lounging around, I'm like by the end of the day, I feel like I've wasted a day, because like I haven't gotten anything really done that I wanted to do. Like I'll maybe like start a couple of things here and there, but I don't like get things done, because like I haven't given myself like a timeline, a deadline to get things done. But again, on the flip side of that, some days it's good to just like give yourself permission to just like lounge
Yeah.
around and
Yep.
like just relax. Like, no, I don't need to work today. Like today is
Yeah.
a day where I can just relax, spend time with my family, just enjoy myself and not worry about like, oh, I got to capture this. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to do this. So it's like, you know, it's good to give yourself those mental breaks and those mental times to just, you know, calm down.
Yeah, you can't just be working 24/7. That's not healthy.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, you know, you gotta, in order to grow organically within the community, within, you know, your brand online, you know, you gotta have that set schedule of like when you gotta have that schedule, that routine of like being able to churn things out that are quality over quantity.
For sure.
You gotta churn that stuff out that's gonna engage with people, because at a certain point, like, you know, Nick Hibbets
Yep.
is like, he's a pro at this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've seen his stuff, you know his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He is funny as hell, and like people know it, and people like look for his stuff, especially his like ask questions. I think it's on Mondays he does it.
I think Mondays or Wednesdays, I think, something like that.
Yeah, whatever the day of the week he does it, but like he does it on a set schedule. He like always comes to it. He like, and his responses are always funny as hell.
Yeah.
But like his stuff is always quality stuff, and he doesn't like churn out like post after post like all day every day. Like he's posting stuff that he's taking time to work on. But like his schedule and knowing when he's gonna like do things is part of his presence, part of his brand. So finding that kind of schedule that people can know and recognize, like, oh, on Wednesdays I know Evan posts Rufus.
Yeah.
You know, Warface Wednesdays coming up. I know Evan's gonna, and once you can fall into that niche of like being recognized for what you put out on a certain day, like that's, I think, the beginning of really organically growing a nice following, is because people can rely on that structure.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely be consistent, but like if you don't have like something that's like really interesting and cool to post, like don't like that. That's kind of what I've been doing, especially recently. But like since I've been on social media, like I'm not gonna like I try to post every day, but if I don't have something like that's interesting to post, I'm not gonna post it. Like I'm not gonna just like throw something up for the sake of throwing something up.
Yeah. And that's finding the balance with that too is hard, because like you feel like once you start, you feel like, oh my God, if I miss a day, it's gonna throw off my entire thing. And it's like, it's not, it's not, if people don't see something from you one day out of the week,
it's not
if you miss the day, it's not a big deal. You might go through withdrawals because you don't like you didn't put something up there, and like you didn't get that affirmation of all those little hearts, but like but it's designed, Instagram, any kind of these social media things like are all designed to prey on our human need to be validated.
Yeah, totally.
Those likes, those hearts, those follows, the unlimited scroll thing now, where like you can scroll infinitely. Like that all is designed to prey on our need to feel validated for what we're doing. And it's the same thing with like, I really learned that as an actor. Like you're an actor because part of you needs to have that validation of like, yes, tell me that I'm doing a good job. Tell me that you enjoy what I'm doing. And that's this. We do totally. For all that. Yeah. And this quarantine time has been a really great time for me to kind of take a step back from that and just take a more third party view of it all. And say like, to understand like, the entertainment industry is a nice break from reality. It's a nice way to like kind of to relax and just kind of turn your brain off and enjoy something. Yeah. But also it's been nice to step away from that mode of being, that mode of being of like, I need to be validated by like an audience, but now it's moved into a validation of a whole different kind. Yeah. Now it's like a validation of like clicks and scrolls. But I think focusing on the quality of your content and not so much how many likes you're getting, how many followers you're getting, but just focusing on churning out really engaging quality stuff is, I think, the way to combat that. You know, it's just, you're not thinking about like, I need to get this many followers, I need to hit 1,000, I need to hit 10,000. Like, you know, you'll get there if you just keep on putting out quality stuff.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and like I think it was either Espen or Thor or both when they came on the podcast. Like they mentioned something along the lines of like or in one of their Facebook lives, like you have to, kind of like you were saying, like you have to put like more effort and time into the quality of your content, like versus just like focusing on the numbers. Because like if you just like put effort and care about like the content that you're putting out, the numbers will come, like they'll follow. But you can't just be like focusing on the likes first, because then you're not gonna get them, because people are gonna be like, oh, you're just like trying to get as many likes as you can, and that's gonna come across as like fake and like not genuine, and people can see right through that. So it's definitely, you have to be like focused on like the right things, and like be like more concerned about like the content that you're putting out versus the numbers.
Yeah, totally.
I just got a delivery.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. It's definitely, yeah, it's been fun exploring the science of like consistently, and like the consistency and the algorithm, and like when to post, what to post, like what does well, what doesn't, like definitely a fun game to play.
Yeah, that's very true. It is.
Yeah.
It is a fun game. You know, and like now with it's something that I'm really trying to work on now is finding the rhythm of these reels, these Instagram reels now, because like with the whole TikTok extravaganza that, oh, we got a delivery. Look at that. Deliveries on deliveries. I think with this whole TikTok thing, you know, that scandal with China and moving reels onto Instagram, it's like adding a whole new layer now that you have to kind of get the hang of. And I'm convinced, like I said this in one of the chats, I was like, I'm convinced that unless you have like bodacious cleavage or you're dancing like a fool, you're not going to get any kind of following. But you know, that's not true.
I mean, no, it's definitely has some truth to it for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, because obviously, like, these platforms are made for certain things and other things. So finding the ways to make 15 seconds of video, like finding ways to make that compelling and interesting and something that's worth watching and clicking on. And so, and I know that like part of the metric of Instagram is using those new things and using them to your advantage. And so they want you to kind of take advantage of that. So hopefully finding the rhythm of that too, and adding that to the whole plate that is the smorgasbord. Yeah.
And with the reels thing, it's like I don't know how I feel about it yet, because it's one of those things that like is blatantly like trying to bite off like something else, like in this case like the TikTok 15-second videos, but like on Instagram it's just like Instagram, there's enough things going on as it is, like adding like reels, it's just like I don't know. And I like most of the ones that I've seen, like there's a few guys that are doing them well. Like I've Pablo Escobar Bell, he's done a couple that are really cool. Good Job Cobb has done a few. But like I've also seen a lot, like even from like the Beard Struggle page itself, that it's like, this is not that interesting. It's just kind of like random stupid TikTok content that's like not that appealing to most people.
Yeah, because people are just like reposting their TikTok stuff on Reels, because like you see the TikTok watermark, and it's like, okay, well clearly you didn't create this, you just created this from TikTok and then you're putting it over here. But like
I've
again, it's finding ways to make these like little, because you know, and I'm sounding like an old man when I say these kinds of things, but like we've become such a generation of like instant gratification, like totally, you know, it's like brief, you know, we're 15 seconds has become like our times, our attention span. Like if we and it's anything longer than 15 seconds, like even like the minute long videos you can post on Instagram, like that's pushing it.
Yeah, totally.
So if you post like an IGTV thing where it's like 4 or 5 minutes long. Good luck getting that.
Yep.
You better be real compelling to get that entire thing watched.
Yeah, I mean,
but like,
sorry, go ahead.
No, I just like think that it's a reflection of our time and our generation that like
totally.
that these little micro advertisements, these like micro expressions of who you are, these 15-second blurbs of like, how can I be as compelling and interesting for you to like me in 15 seconds? It's like, it's great if you're like just kind of being silly and whatever, but it's like trying to focus a generation into like, training ourselves to like find these 15-second bits of information interesting. It's like, again, that's why I think it's good to take a step back and like
for sure
enjoy something more long form like this. The art of long form discussion, like I enjoy, sitting down for like one of these long beefy podcasts that's like,
totally.
An hour, maybe 2 hours long. Cause like it's nothing is like that anymore.
True.
To sit down and listen to listen to a discussion for like an hour and a half, to like sit down and read a book. Like,
true. Doesn't happen as much.
Doesn't happen as much anymore because like the written word, the long form discussion, these kinds of art forms are really going on the back burner in society now. Like they're going the way of the dodo because this generation, especially the younger generation, the TikTok generation, like these kids who are like addicted to these apps, like it says a lot about the attention span of the generation. And I worry about what that's doing to our collective, brains and our collective time, our attention spans, because like when your attention span is only 15 seconds, like how are you possibly going to maintain that kind of content creation? When you're just like, I don't know, maybe I'm just being an old fart, but
no, it's totally fair.
Thinking deeply about the repercussions of our trade.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and like I worked on a video, like a short, like 4 or 5 minute video for that I posted on IGTV recently. And I think it's got like, on my page, it's got like 200 and something views. Because like IGTV is not as popular, but then it also depends on your following. Because like I posted it kind of like as like, I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it's kind of like with the beard struggle. Like I include the products in there. It's kind of like a short film type thing. That the beard struggle also posted on their page, and I think it's done like over 15,000 views at this point. So which is really cool to see. But it depends on your audience for sure. Like because I'm sure there's a difference like between like, even if the attention span is the same, it's like 15 seconds for like 50,000 people versus like a few hundred. Like that's still gonna like affect the amount of like views and like watch time that you get. Definitely. I don't like the reels thing. I would rather like I like seeing like more like you were saying, like with like a longer form podcast or a video, like because you get more information and it's not just like a 15 seconds of nothingness. Like so it's definitely interesting for sure.
Totally. Because you watch something for 15 seconds and then you're on to the next thing and you completely forget about what you just saw.
And you're like,
if you're listening to a long form podcast or you're reading a book, like you have time to like sit there and digest it and think about it. Think about it while you're listening to it. Think about it in the moment. And it promotes thought. It promotes like actual thought. Thinking and like just going about with what's rattling around your head are two different things.
Totally.
Like actual deep thinking, critical thinking is like, I fear for the new generation because like I feel like critical thinking is a skill that has gone out the window.
Totally.
But like having the attention span to like sit there and just enjoy something that's longer than 5 minutes, even just like sit there and enjoy something and watch something and listen to something, read something, and just enjoy it and just sit with it and let it digest, let it marinate in your brain and just like give you a new perspective on something. I think that's important. It's important to like challenge yourself and to think about things deeply and to think about new things. And and while that's what I liked about Instagram initially, is that it was pictures. It was like it took the picture aspect of Facebook and it just removed it out of there, and it just, okay, here's pictures.
Yeah.
Twitter, you want to write something real fast, real quick, that's what Twitter's for.
Yeah.
And then it went on over to Instagram, and like Facebook became like this crazy hodgepodge.
Yeah.
But like I liked that Instagram was like, here's my ice cream cone today. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And like you can see that, and you can like, oh, I like that ice cream cone, and then you move on to the next thing, and that was all it was.
Yeah.
But now like Instagram is trying to like incorporate.
Yeah. Now it's now it's Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok all together.
Yeah. And
plus Instagram like photos.
Yeah, it incorporated stories, I think, from Snapchat, right?
Snapchat, yeah, that's right.
So like it's absorbing, like it's like, what is it called when it's taking on the strongest features from all the different things that it's around.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I just can't think of the word right now.
However it's absorbing all of its features around it, but like it's gonna become this like Facebook was. It's like this hodgepodge of stuff, and it's like, okay, well, I'd really like to just focus on the picture content, because that's just something simple that I can write like a thoughtful caption about, and that's it. Yeah. But now it's like you're compelled to also take compelling, videos for if you want to do IGTV, or your story, you want to use a compelling stuff for your story, because that keeps that little relevant ring around your picture on the top of their profile now. Yeah. So like just it's wrestling with all these different features now that are going to keep you relevant and keep you on top of people's radar, and it's it's a challenge. It's definitely you need, like, that's why celebrities have social media managers, because it's a full-time job just managing your presence online.
It's so true. Yep. Yeah, 100%. It's just like so much involved. Yeah. And especially with Instagram now, it's like it's literally become like 4 or 5 different social media pages in one. Because like even like on Instagram stories, you can do like Twitter type like short thoughts, and like so it's not only like Instagram now, it's like Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, like YouTube, like with IGTV, like it's everything in one. And it's like doing too much of a good thing is not a good thing. Just gets too cluttered and confusing and buggy and all that kind of stuff.
That's true. Yeah, as Ron Swanson says, never half-ass 2 things, whole-ass 1 thing. I would like to whole-ass the meat and potatoes of what made Instagram great. Adding this extra stuff is, I think, kind of thinning the mix a little bit, and I miss when it was pretty much standard, straightforward. But totally. We have to adapt. Yeah. We have to become adaptable and flexible to stay ahead. And
for sure.
We grow or we die. Said the dinosaur.
Yep, true. There you go. Yeah. One more question before we wrap up, that I always like to ask like people that are on the podcast. If you could create one new product or like modify a current product for the beard struggle, what would you do?
Well, to be fair, I haven't tried the brush yet. I haven't tried the heated brush.
Oh, it's amazing.
I have a different heated brush that I have used, but I'm not a fan.
Huh?
I'm not a big fan of it, and I really can't fairly speak to the brush being the product, because I haven't seen how the struggle brush how that brush really works in my beard. But the way that the brush I have now, it like gives you like those weird like cheek divots, and I just don't like the way it makes my beard look. But if I had to modify, or let me think for a second.
No, all good.
Trying to think of what product I think of the beard really, a beardsman really needs. Because I love the comb that it's like that, the collapsible comb is really happened right next to me. I don't know why I'm miming it, but like this guy I think is really great, because like
for sure
it's easy to like, it makes it compact. Oils are great. The balm is not so waxy that it's uncomfortable. I don't really like waxy balms that
For
like
sure.
make your beard feel heavy, but the
Yeah, that
balm is
makes sense.
actually more of a like a butter balm hybrid,
Yeah.
which I think is really nice. Yeah, I would really have to try the brush before I could like give my, because I have a really curly beard.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Same
like
here. Yeah.
my beard, I didn't do anything to it today, and it's kind of like it is in its kind of like curly state, just with a little
Yeah.
bit of product in it. But like
Yeah. Yeah.
if I take
Same.
like a blow dryer and my like brush to it, like
Yeah.
it'll lengthen it out a bit because it kind of makes the hair more wavy as opposed to curly.
Yeah.
But to get like, I just don't have a beard that's ever going to be like one of those nice pin straight kind of like sculpted looking beards. I have
Yeah.
like, I've got Eastern European in my beard.
Yeah.
It's definitely like that curly, Eastern European look.
Hmm.
And I've just come to terms that that's what it's going to be. So like
Yeah.
a brush might not, a heated brush just may never ever kind of like give me the look that but coming to terms with what my beard look is, and
Hmm.
embracing my own beard look and embracing what it's going to be is like
Yeah.
part of my own journey. But
Totally.
yeah, so I don't really have such a great answer to that question. It was
Fair.
very
No,
long.
it's all. Yeah. No, it's all good. But yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely with the like I'm using the, because like after I posted that, like after the beard struggle posted that video that I made, they sent me the heated beard brush and the mud mask. And so I've been using the heated beard brush for a while, and I find that like normally my beard is a lot like, it's a lot bigger and more like poofy without it. Like I didn't use the heated beard brush today, or like a blow dryer or anything. I just kind of like kind of wet it a bit and then like dried it off and then put some oil and some balm in it. But I find when I use the heated beard brush, it kind of like brings the sides in more and kind of brings it to more of a point, kind of like a thicker like fair like ancient Egyptian pharaoh's beard kind of,
Mm-hmm.
which is it's kind of, it's an interesting look. But you just gotta like play with it more and like use it and kind of like, I haven't used it a ton, so I'm still kind of figuring out the technique and like what settings work best and all that kind of stuff. But I'd love to see like I've thought about this a
Yeah,
lot.
because I
Like,
watched the
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I watched the video that Dan Z
Yeah.
put together, like the making of, like how it went from sketch to actual. And I like the fact that it's got like the pick part, in the front, that you can kind of like pick things out if they get kind of indented in. So I would like to try it and actually give it a fair shake.
Yeah, totally. It's definitely a good product for sure. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would love to see and I've heard that they may or may not be working on some body wash in some of their scents, which would be like, I've been an Old Spice body wash guy like my entire life, and like Old Spice deodorant. But if the Beard Struggle came out with a body wash and like deodorant, I would be using that like immediately. Like Odin's Virtue body wash and deodorant, like I would take that all day.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
sure.
I know they make like the scissor that's included in like the
Viking
grooming pack.
Yeah, the trimming kit. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to see maybe like if they threw more investment into like trimming grooming products, like maybe like a straight edge blade.
Oh, true. Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool.
Some kind of like a razor, like a safety razor kind of thing that's especially designed by them, that like has their own kind of look to it, like maybe something Viking-esque, but like even just like the straight edge, like this cutthroat razor that's got like maybe the interchangeable blades or something like that. Just because like I use that to like trim up it's actually in today's photo. I use that to like clean up my cheek line. Yeah. I'll use it to like, clean up the lines and the burn. But like, it's something that, you don't think about a lot because it's not a beard product. It's like a shaving product. Yeah. But, you use these kinds of tools to kind of like keep the beard looking trim and neat. So I think, maybe if they sold that kind of thing as well, it might do well too. Yeah. And like have it designed with like the flip out part is kind of looks like an axe blade kind of thing. That'd be really cool. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's definitely that's the thing that like kind of makes me excited about like future beard struggle products, is there's so much they can do. And like with even using like the scents that they have and like new scents, like Dan Ziegler is working on a new scent for them, which is going to be cool. Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see like where they go in the future. Like I've heard talk of like skincare products or like
body washes, deodorant, like that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, so
Yeah, because
cool.
different companies I use also have different, like, other products. Other companies have like deodorant, like you said, or
Yeah,
Artiest Man makes a really
yeah.
great line of candles that
Oh,
have
cool.
there that they're like I forget what they make them with, but they're like all natural candles that are made with different scents as well. They're like really deep, rich
Ooh,
scents. So like,
cool.
there's a whole different market there too that they could explore that I think people would totally be down on.
100%. Yeah, Ragnarok Finale scented candle would be amazing, or Odin's Virtue scented candle would be fantastic.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, these are great. That's why these scents exist in the oil form to begin with, is because they're so deep and thoughtful.
Yeah,
They really, the layers of scent, and where you like initially when you get them, when you're just sniffing the oil in the bottle, and then you actually apply heat and friction with your
yeah,
hands, and it kind of opens up and blooms some
yeah,
of the other
totally.
parts of the scent. And like
Hmm.
that whoever is working for them and creating these scent profiles and creating the mixture that is these profiles, like is it takes real artistry to kind of get that right and make these scents not too overpowering, but make them
Yeah.
subtle enough that they live with you throughout the day, and they really continue to bloom throughout the day. So
Hmm.
yeah, I give them a lot of credit there.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's yeah, going on an hour and a half. Don't want to keep you too much longer. But yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Good chat for sure.
Yeah,
Covered
it's been a
lots of different
blast.
things.
Totally,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I've seen a lot of your stuff, and I've always been thought like, oh, that's such a cool podcast. I like that they actually do something like this. So I was honored to be included. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely hop on for part 2 at some point. Sweet. So yeah, for everyone watching, as usual, I'll have Evan's social media links down below, as well as his Beard Circle discount link. Go buy some Odin's Virtue beard balms. Check them out. Yeah, all links down below. Thanks for watching. Thanks again, Evan. Cheers.
Thank you, guys.